It seems as if there's a real divide among Arsenal fans when it comes to Mikel Arteta. Some see him as the man to lead us back to the glory days, the one who's been rebuilding this club step by step, getting us close to the titles we've been craving. Others feel he's taken us as far as he can, and after this poor start to the season, maybe it's time for a change. So what's the verdict? It's been 5 years since Mikel Arteta took charge of Arsenal Football Club. In that time, we've seen highs, we've seen lows, and we've had moments that made us dream. But with the season not going to the way we expected, opinions remain divided. In this video, I'll be diving into what the verdict is on Mikel Arteta, what he's achieved, where he's fallen short, and where we stand right now, and whether he's truly the man to take Arsenal back to the top. Before we get into that next part, if you're new here, welcome to my channel, Pitchside with GM, where we talk about everything football with a special focus on Arsenal. Whether it's match analysis, deep dives into players, or big conversations like this one, I've got you covered. So if you love football as much as I do, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on any videos. And if you're already subscribed, big up yourself and thank you for tuning in. When Mikel Arteta stepped into the Emirates in December 2019, Arsenal were in complete disarray. The club lacked identity on the pitch, discipline in the dressing room, and the connection with the fans was absolutely non-existent. Within months, Arteta delivered our first trophy in 3 years, the FA Cup. That win over Chelsea in the final wasn't just a trophy, it was a statement. It showed that even in chaos, Arteta could organise the team, instill discipline, and produce a result on the biggest stage. Let's also not forget, we also beat Man City in the semi-final, a side considered near unstoppable at the time. From there, we saw glimpses of what Arteta could bring to the table. He introduced a tactical identity focusing on structured possession-based football. Players like Bukayo Saka, Smith Rowe and Martinelli flourished under his guidance, and he brought in key signings like Martin Odegaard, who has become one of the most important players in the squad, if not the most important. Arteta also didn't shy away from making big decisions, shipping out players like Mesut Ozil, Aubameyang, and other players who didn't fit the vision took guts. It was all about, the process, a larger project. Well, that's what he called it anyway. And for a while, that process seemed to be working. Back-to-back Champions League qualifications, something we hadn't seen in years, and a title challenge, 2 years in a row. And also, the return of the connection between the players and the fans just showed how much progress had been made. Arteta gave us something we hadn't felt in years, belief, the feeling that we were a big club again. But the issue is, football is a results business, and belief alone isn't going to be enough. Now, there's no denying the progress under Arteta. However, there have been moments of frustration, and those moments make you wonder if he's truly the man to take us to the top. Let's start with the early struggles. There was a period in his first full season where Arsenal lost 8 out of 12 league games, hovering dangerously close to the relegation zone. It was one of the worst starts in Premier League history. Although he eventually turned it around, those results still left fans question his inexperience as a manager. Then there's the Premier League 22-23 season, where we led the campaign for almost 248 days, only to crumble in the final few weeks and practically hand the trophy to Manchester City. It was heartbreaking, and many pointed to Arteta's squad management as a key reason for the collapse. Did he push the same players too hard? Did he lack the tactical flexibility to adjust when things started to go wrong? And then there was the 23-24 season, where Arsenal went toe-to-toe with Manchester City, but didn't win the title because they lacked a natural goal scorer. Despite being the second highest goal scoring team in the league, their inability to finish chances at times cost them the league. I still remember that Aston Villa game where we had so many chances to win that game and they ended up losing 2-0 in the last 15 minutes. Typical Arsenal. And now we're looking at this season, a campaign that started far below the standards we set last year. Arsenal have struggled to find rhythm, dropped points where we shouldn't have, and failed to dominate games the way we know we can. For a team that was supposed to kick on from last season's near miss, this definitely feels like a step backward. So where does that leave us now? Arteta has undoubtedly changed the culture of the club and has brought us closer to where we want to be. But in football, especially at clubs like Arsenal, it's all about the trophies. The FA Cup win was a great start, but 5 years in, we're still waiting for the Premier League title. We're still waiting for a deep Champions League run, and the longer we wait, the more divided the fan base becomes. This season is pivotal. Yes, there's been injuries, however the squad has depth, has talent and the potential, but the results so far haven't lived up to the expectations. Is this just a slow start, or are we seeing the limits of what Mikel Arteta can actually do? And I think that's the big question here. So what's the verdict of Mikel Arteta? Is this the make or break season for him? I mean, personally, with the amount of time he's had at the club, the amount of money he's spent, and really and truly this is his squad, it's time to deliver. Yes, we've had a slow start to the season. Yes, we've had injuries, but there's no more excuses. He needs to win some silverware. And in my opinion, he has to win the Prem or Champions League. And if the season doesn't go to plan, then he needs to go and win an FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. Carabao? You know what I'm trying to say. Either way, some silverware needs to be delivered, or else there's going to be some big questions at the end of this season. So guys, what's your thoughts on Mikel Arteta? Is he the man to take us to the top and win us some silverware, or has his time gone and come? Come and gone. One of the two. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching again. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video.